Edifier QD35 looks pretty cool on your desk with customizable RGB and a fast charger that charges two of your devices at the same time. But how does it actually sound? And is it worth spending 899 ringgit or $200 on one? Let's tune in and find out. So I've always known Edifier as a more value for money brand that makes honestly pretty decent desktop speakers like the ever popular R1280DB and DBS models are priced under 500 ringgit. And in case you didn't notice, the QD35 looks nothing like that. It's mono and looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. So naturally, it got my attention. You just want attention, you don't want my heart. I'm gonna break this video down into three major parts. The pros, what I like, the cons, what I don't, and the mehs, which are what I think can be improved upon but aren't deal breakers. Oh yeah, this speaker was sent over for this review, but as usual, I do reserve my right to an unbiased opinion. But if you want to pick one up after watching this video, feel free to use the links in the description as it will help #support us to make more content like this, but won't cost you anything extra. And also just check it out because it seems to be always on sale on Shopee and Lazada. Without further ado, let's just dive right in. Let's just start with the pros, and I'm gonna kick things off with the aesthetics because that's the first thing that you're gonna notice when you're taking a look at the QD35. Y'all are superficial ma, think I don't know? Jokes aside, it has a very bold but still quite tasteful cyberpunk aesthetic with a high gloss plastic chassis that is clear at the front, but otherwise black or white, depending on which model you choose. The overall build quality is actually surprisingly tough and robust, with some actual weight to it. The dials and buttons also feel very nice and tactile. Other noticeable features include a pair of reflex ports at the back so you don't want to place the speaker too close to the wall, and 4 rubber isolation pads underneath each corner to help dampen vibrations when audio is playing. Number 2, we have the customizable RGB lighting. For those who want to spice up their desk setup, especially to complement their blinged out gaming rig, i.e. people like me, are gonna appreciate the customizable RGB lights. You can manually control the brightness and switch between presets on the speaker itself, but for everything else, you're gonna have to use the Edifier Connect app. Next, let's talk about the sound. Like finally, right? So what we have here is a mono speaker with a 3-inch mid-range and bass driver next to a 1-inch tweeter that are tuned towards more of a balanced sound signature with decent frequency separation. So it works pretty well for most types of music, but in my opinion, it is still more suitable for popular vocal-centric music. For example, while listening to a pop song like Bad Guy from Billie Eilish, the mids and treble are clear with a good amount of bass to support the track. Bass heads out there might not be too impressed, but still unlikely to be too disappointed either. It also gets quite loud, but doesn't distort when we cranked the volume all the way to the max, enough to fill a sizable room for sure. For the price, the audio quality is not too bad at all, and with some EQ, I would even say that it's pretty good. But just listen for yourself to see if you like it or not. Talking about sound, there are several input and output options for you to choose from. There's the 3.5mm auxiliary port, USB-A, and Bluetooth 5.3 connectivity to link your devices to the speaker. But what if your devices run out of juice? Well, the QD35 has a built-in turbo GaN or a gallium nitride charger to charge your devices while you are using the speaker with them. This could be your phone, tablet, laptop, or even ROG Ally. Weird flex, but okay. So the USB-C port provides a 35W max output, which got my iPhone 14 Pro Max from 0 to 50% in around 30 minutes, while the USB-A port outputs only 18 watts. If you're using both ports at the same time though, they will both only output 18 watts each. But still pretty good if you're just chilling and just leaving your devices plugged in. Another pro that I want to talk about is the Edifier Connect app that is super inclusive and is available to both iOS and Android users. It has a simple interface and is actually quite functional. You get to customize your EQ, control your volume, media player, and RGB lighting, remotely power the speaker on and off, and it even includes inbuilt soothing sounds to help you fall asleep. Why? Cannot sleep, ah? Who asked you before sleep watch Netflix? Just joking lah. If you seriously got insomnia, please go and see a doctor. Now let's talk about the cons. And the first one is the fact that this thing is a fingerprint magnet and is quite prone to scratches. For those of you who are OCD like me, just keep your microfiber cloth ready. Look, they've even included one with a speaker. You also know, right? The second and only con, in my opinion, is the fact that it has a narrow soundstage. While frequencies are quite clearly defined, a mono speaker like this is always going to suffer from a narrow soundstage because there's only one side of the story. That means that things can sound very squished together and congested, especially for genres like jazz, orchestra, or even prog rock like Dream Theater. I know this sounds like a nitpick, but for people who only listen to those genres, it can be a little off-putting. Finally, let's talk about the stuff that only OCD people like me will complain about. If you're not like that, then just skip to the conclusion. Anyways, I'm gonna start with the volume control that is in steps ranging from 0 to 16 increment levels, so you can't actually fine-tune the volume to your liking. Already told you I'm OCD. It also doesn't have a built-in alarm, although it has a digital clock display right here. Why? I don't know. So for those of you who want to put this next to your bed as a bedside alarm speaker, no dice. We also tested it out with the iPhone's default alarm app, and that doesn't work either. And the Edifier logo needs to be so big or not? Can even see this from Singapore? Can even direct air traffic? Land here, fly there. As for my actual nitpick about the sound, here it is. The tuning is pretty good. The frequency separation is also pretty decent, but this separation was achieved by cutting out some of the lower mid and upper mid frequencies, which does take away the warmth and presence of the vocals. Take Kelly Clarkson's cover of Happier Than Ever, for instance. It also leaves us with a somewhat metallic timbre when it comes to acoustic instruments that is very apparent with a song like Jacob Collier's Hideaway, where he played a bunch of different types of acoustic instruments. To recap, here are the pros, mehs, and cons of the Edifier QD35. I give this Edifier QD35 a hashtag cheap buy cyberpunk, balanced sounding, looks awesome, 8 out of 10. Is this the absolute best sounding speaker you can buy at 899 ringgit or $200 US? No. Something like Edifier's very own R1855DB or R1700 BTS would be a better fit, but from a looks point of view, it's honestly turning heads. Almost every employee and also guest at our studio has complimented its cyberpunky sexy desk appeal. Editor Azrai put it best. With its look, the speaker function itself is basically just a secondary feature of this product. I mean, don't get me wrong, while I call it secondary, the speaker is still plenty good for listening to music or watching videos while charging your devices. But you're just more likely to buy it for its bling than for its sing. What? Bling and sing rhymes, ma? Anyways, that's everything I have to say about the Edifier QD35 desktop speaker, okay? If you thought this video was awesome, don't forget to give it a like and share. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions regarding this product, and I'll try my best to reply to you one by one because I'm very patient and nice like that. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell harder than the bass hits in your favorite song. And follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram to see more shenanigans from the Mobhouse crew. Again, the name is Shane. Bangsawan Shane, in case you didn't know. And I will see you in the next one.